Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about some tips and tricks related to long distance motorcycle travel. That is something that I've been doing for the past 5 years. I've been riding my bike much before that, actually, since I was in college. So riding experience, I think it goes back more than 15 years, but long distance travel I have been doing for the past 5 years and have been to some amazing places in the country. And today I am going to talk about some tips and tricks that I have learned over the years. I have watched a lot of tutorial videos to help me improve my experience while doing long distance motorcycle travel. Tips and tricks that will not only help you for your weekend rides, but also when you're doing cross country rides, which is what I love to do personally, which is to go to far off places on the bike. Let's get started. Now, one of the first things that you need to think about: essential riding gear, your helmet, your jacket, your pants, or at least knee guards, your hand gloves, and riding boots. If you're going to do touring on a motorcycle, these things are a must. Alright, first things first, a quality helmet. Just make sure it is DOT certified. Now, this is a helmet I've been using since 2020. It's an AGV K11. This has been with me for the past 4 years, and all my long distance bike trips have been done wearing this. There's a man riding a scooter. You need to wear your jacket, your gloves, your pants, if not pants, knee guards, and riding boots. A lot of people miss out on riding boots. I think they should stretch their budget a little bit more and get riding boots. You can get fantastic riding boots by the company Orazo. That's a good starting point for you to own your own riding boots. You need to also plan riding gear based on the place that you're visiting. So if it is really cold, make sure that you have winter liners. They usually come with the main riding gear. And if it's going to rain, make sure that you're carrying your rain liners. So good riding gear is a must. And when it comes to luggage on a motorcycle, less means more. Always make sure that you're carrying only the essential things, and you have to be mindful that you're not carrying too much of weight. It's very easy to overload your bike with excess luggage. You have to make sure that everything is well balanced and secured on the bike. Remember guys, weight distribution is key. All the heavier items on the bike should be lower to the ground to improve the center of gravity. Just make sure that your saddlebags are well balanced. What I do generally is I have a weighing scale at home. I make sure that both the saddlebags are almost equally weight distributed, which helps in the overall balance and performance of the bike, and it just makes your ride a lot more enjoyable. Now, first aid kit. I do carry some medicines with me when I'm on my road trips. I carry a small bottle of Dettol liquid. I carry antiseptic cream, bandages, something for fever, something for cold. I do carry it on my journeys. And if you're going to places like Ladakh or Spiti, which are high altitude regions, then you might want to consult your physician before carrying some medicines. Apart from that, I do carry something for an upset stomach, generally multivitamins. All this together contribute for my Medipack. So what are the tools, you might ask? Well, actually I don't know what others carry, maybe they carry more, but what I have been carrying for all my rides, need to carry a tire inflator. Secondly, a puncture kit. Thankfully, so far on all my road trips, I've never had a puncture, so I've never had to fix my own tire. Always carry a puncture kit because you never know when you might need them. Apart from that, I carry some Allen keys, zip ties, and I carry a duct tape with me because you might need it along the way if you want to secure some panel which has broken off. Your racks might become loose, or whatever it is. I think zip ties are an excellent companion in your toolkit. Now, when you're doing your long distance tours, you need to know where you're going. I study the route quite thoroughly from where I am to where I want to be tomorrow. I study the route quite thoroughly and also make sure that I know some names of the towns or the cities that are going to come along the way, so it becomes like a reference point that I am going in the right direction. Another tip is always make sure that you have downloaded in offline maps, because you never know when you might be out of coverage or network. In case there is no internet, then at least you have the basic route downloaded on your phone. Next up, you should carry some snacks along with you. Never be out of water. Even before you run out of water, you should stop at the next dhaba or next restaurant, buy your next bottle of water even before the previous one ends, because the last thing you want is you're feeling thirsty out on the highway. It might be hot, it might be sunny, and you don't have water to drink, and that is definitely not ideal. I don't have a hydration pack, but I have managed with just purchasing a bottle of water from the shop that comes along the way. Snacks, I do carry chicky, some chocolates, peanuts, and maybe some protein bars that take care of the hunger for a little bit till I reach the next dhaba. You need to check whether your bike is ready for that long journey. First thing, your tire. Make sure that there is enough tire tread. You need to calculate about how much life of the tire is still remaining. Does that match the length of your road trip? And otherwise, it's best to remove those tires, keep them at home, and get new ones installed, because you might not find them along the way. Make sure the tire is at the right air pressure. Also, because I do 15 or 20 day trips, maybe even longer sometimes, because of that I carry a lot of luggage. When you add so much luggage to the bike, your bike tends to sit down. The KTM Duke 390's adjustable suspension, I have made the suspension more stiff so that when I'm at highway speeds, if I have to go over a bump or a speed breaker, then the bike doesn't bottom out. And it doesn't bottom out even with a pillion, because after making changes to the suspension, even with full luggage and with a pillion, my wife, the bike has rarely bottomed out. Make sure that your brake fluids are there, your brake pads are there. You should always have the number in mind. How many hundreds or thousands of kilometers is the road trip going to be, and whether your brake pads or tires will last that long. Make sure all your lights, your headlights, your indicators, your tail lights are working 100%. Chain, another big factor in maintenance, especially when you're doing long distance rides. Make sure that the chain is at the right tightness and it is well lubed. It's going to get dirty, it's going to get dry. Carry chain sprays, chain lube. And what you can do is, when you get your bike washed at the local bike wash, make sure that they clean the chain so that you save on some chain cleaning liquid. Once the chain becomes dry, you can apply the chain lube. Battery, you need to make sure that the battery condition is good, because the last thing you want is the bike not starting in the middle of a jungle or the desert or in the mountains where help may not be nearby, because at the end of the day, a well-maintained bike is crucial for a safe and a smooth ride. Now, visibility is another factor that will add to your safety. You can get those reflective straps that you can wear on your jacket. You can get a fluorescent green or bright colored helmet. You can add reflective tape, anything that will increase your visibility on the highway. You can also wear the reflective vest on your riding jacket. Those vests are easily available on Amazon. You just buckle it onto your jacket, and that really helps in increasing your visibility. I'm personally a solo rider, but if you're into group rides, then you can consider getting an intercom communication device between the riders so they can warn you of oncoming traffic, potholes, speed breakers, if somebody's coming from the wrong side. An intercom system between riders is definitely a good idea. One person can lead and he can keep warning the riders behind him of oncoming hazards. Now, once you have your riding gear, you have your luggage, you have a well-maintained bike, you have your tools. Next important factor is the ride itself. Let's talk about some riding techniques and safety tips. Always ride defensively and be aware of your surroundings. I have this example in my mind which I like to share with people, is that even if you're looking straight, you need to be aware of what is in your peripheral vision. So I am looking at the camera, but I am conscious about whatever is beside the camera also. It takes practice, it takes time, but once you develop it, you'll be a lot safer on the road. Knowing what are the potential hazards and knowing what is around you to keep yourself safe over thousands of kilometers is a lot of hard work. The second point is always keep a safe distance from the car ahead of you, because you never know when he might brake or slow down. Something might come in front of him, because of which he'll have to slow down. Have sufficient braking space between you and the vehicle ahead. Point number 3, do not change lanes without knowing what is coming up in that lane. It could be a slower truck, a slower car, or it could be an animal trying to cross the road. Look first. If you can see that the lane is completely clear, only then you go for it. Don't just blindly change lanes, because that can be extremely dangerous. When you are trying to overtake a large vehicle, say a truck or a bus, make sure that the lane in which that vehicle is in is also clear, because what I do is generally when I am overtaking the large vehicle, I don't complete the overtake till I know there is nothing ahead of that vehicle, or that animal or that person who's trying to cross the highway will clear the first lane, but he will come onto your lane, and that can happen all of a sudden. So make sure that all the lanes are clear when you are overtaking a large vehicle. Don't just rely on indicators. Don't hesitate to show your hand out just to make sure that the person is seeing that you are changing the lane. Hand signals can be very useful in averting a tricky situation. I almost always never use the horn. I don't depend on the horn at all. There are so many other ways to be seen and to be noticed. You don't need to honk. And I believe in good road etiquettes, and I make sure that I don't add to the chaos. Avoid riding at night. Don't ride in extreme conditions. If it's raining really hard, just check into a hotel for the night. If it's getting extremely hot, you can take a break at the dhabas, sit there for a couple of hours. I try to avoid riding in the rain because things just become a lot more tricky. Visibility goes down. A lot of times, a lot of vehicles on our highways don't have any lights on the rear side, so avoid riding in the rain. And finally, let's talk about preparing for emergencies. You can opt for the roadside assistance. Make sure that your phone has sufficient battery. I carry a very large power bank. During the day, I don't run out of battery till the time I reach my destination. You should know how to fix a puncture. All along our highways, we have emergency contact numbers. They will write the emergency numbers somewhere. So keep a lookout for that and make sure you note that number down. Plus, highway patrol numbers are also written on some patrol cars sometimes. So it's a good idea to note that number as well. Being prepared can make a world of a difference if something goes wrong. Have a positive mindset. Always believe that you will meet only nice people, you will have only nice experiences, and trust me, it makes a big difference in your overall road trip experience. So there you have it. These are my top tips for long distance motorcycle travel and safety. I hope you found these tips useful, and I hope they help you have a safe and a comfortable journey on your motorcycle. I am a biker. I feel the best way to experience a road trip is on a motorcycle. So having said that, thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.